Hello, this is Cameron Thomas, and this is my implementation plan. So the first one was the philosopher view, and the question was, how do these articles get you thinking about education and our role as educators? So I found a really great quote from Richardson's article, Teachers as Master Learners, and the quote said, if we're to really understand the new learning opportunities for our students today, we ourselves have to be learners first. And I really thought this was important to think about, just knowing that as teachers, we have to be learners as well, and the students should know that. The second question was, how can we model and teach learning as opposed to stuff? How do you already do it, and why is this important? So I think it is really important for students to set goals and not just have the students set the goals for them, but actually having them set their own goals and knowing what they need to accomplish by maybe the end of the trimester or the end of the year. Also, it's really important to have students reflect on their work, and I make it really important in my class to be self-reflective and just learning how they can grow. And then also, just as a teacher, helping them get out of the pit. So when they're really feeling like they don't really understand the question, or they feel like they can never find the answer to it, just letting them know that they don't understand it yet and they will understand it. And that relates to growth mindset as well. Just having the students realize that their brain is a muscle and that it's growing, and the more they practice at something, the better it's going to be and the better they'll understand it. And then also just teaching them how to be good researchers, and having the students master a skill themselves. And the example from Richardson's article was talking about how the students were looking up their own examples. And this is a continuation from the last slide. And one of Richardson's quotes was, "One who learns with students." And this really relates to being reflective and always learning is key to being a successful teacher. And teachers should not be afraid of not always knowing everything. So here's the idealist viewpoint. The question was, what would my 21st century classroom look like? For my classroom, it would be one-to-one tech in the classroom, so each student would have a laptop. There would be 100% parent involvement on ClassDojo, the app that I use for my class. And all students would have Wi-Fi and their own personal laptops at home. This would make it easier for them to be able to do work at home and with Wi-Fi and their laptops. Also, DIY report cards. So this was from the article Dan Pink, How Teachers Can Sell Love of Learning to Students by Ginny Rose. And this was really cool to read about. And I thought this would be great to have in the classroom, just for the students to be able to choose what they want to learn and also what they want to accomplish. And this will help them better understand where they need to go and how they're going to get there. So I think that would be really cool if they could build their own report card. And then my classroom would be paperless, and student voice and choice would be very, very key for projects. In Richardson's article, he talks about customize, not standardize student learning, and that also relates to no standardized tests. And then all programs online would be free, and not just a free trial. So here's the pragmatic view. So 2 to 3 years out, I would really, really want in my classroom to start Hour of Code. I think my students are really interested in that right now, and I'd like to get involved in that. And they're really involved in coding and all of that on the computer. I would also continue using ClassDojo and getting the students more involved in ClassDojo and not just the parents. And Edmodo, my school uses Edmodo, but I don't use it in the classroom. I think that would be a great space for the students to be able to practice being good digital citizens. And also using KidBlog. I used KidBlog last year, and my students have really enjoyed using KidBlog and being able to blog about their day, their learning, and this really related to our expo and our final project, and they were able to show their parents this as well. I also use Kahoot, which is a fun review game that gives us instant feedback. And then also I would like to start doing pen pals. If this is online, on the computer, we could even Skype with a different class from across the world. I think that would be great. And then also just teaching our students more digital citizenship skills, because I think students are going to be on technology and it's going to keep growing in the future. So I think really teaching them how to be digital citizens is really important. This is a continuation on Pragmatic, talking about professional development and how I am going to stay current in the field. And I'm really going to be able to stay current by Twitter chats, Pinterest, training, and in-services related to technology. I'm going to really be looking those up and trying to attend those. Also YouTube and Feedly. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed.